And let's bring in foreign policy expert Michael Hanlon of the Brookings Institution right now. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
So, Michael, it's been 20 years since the start of the U.S. war on terror. Has it been a success? What has it really achieved?
Well, it's a very hard question. A scholar named Hal Branson and I wrote a couple of articles trying to systematically answer that question. And I guess you could say that we argued that the glass was half full, but that it was, of course, also inconclusive, as you were just getting at with your previous guest, because the challenge remains. And certainly the challenge remains because the Middle East is not any better. The broader Middle East, South Asia region from which the extremist movements have arisen is not doing better. And the main victims, of course, are its own peoples in that region as opposed to Americans. And so at that level, I would say we have failed, because at the root cause level of trying to deal with the causes, the fundamental causes of extremism, we have not helped our partners in the region in general create models of governance that speak to the aspirations of their own people, and therefore there is grievance, there is room for extremism to take root. That's not true, of course, in every country. And we can go through a list, if you wish, where we have different, there are different degrees of success or not. But it certainly remains a very serious problem in places like Syria, Iraq, Yemen, Libya, and a few others. In terms of protecting the American homeland, we've done pretty well. You know, and there were a couple of panels this morning at Brookings where people said, you know, if you had told me on September 12th, 2001, that there would be fewer than 100 American fatalities on U.S. soil due to Salafist terrorism over the next 20 years, I would have been stunned and very relieved. Now, we paid a huge price for that. And the peoples of the Middle East have paid a price because our efforts to bring democracy and better governance have clearly not been particularly successful. And the cost to our men and women in uniform and to the American taxpayer have also been quite high.
Right,
so,
Michael, and I wanted to quickly jump in there because, you know, we bring up this issue of cost, right? There's the trillions of dollars, the lives lost, civilians, military. How has that really affected the U.S. standing in the world then?
I think it varies a great deal from place to place. You know, I don't think it's the fundamental cause of our reputation in any particular part, let's say, of East Asia. I think in East Asia, they think about other things. They think about our commitment to Taiwan or to Korea, or in the case of China, our bilateral relationship and its many dimensions. In the broader Middle East, clearly, there is a huge repercussion. And it's a combination of the perceived unilateralism of George Bush, but even more the inability to really bring successful improvements in the lives of those places, peoples of those places where we most directly intervened. And you know, at least as well as I, from your coverage of the region and speaking to peoples there, that the United States has not done well in that region, even when Barack Obama was elected president. And we thought, well, here's, you know, an African-American with a Muslim father and a Kenyan father and a whole different message about America's role in the world. Even that didn't really undo the damage, and our standing remained quite poor throughout much of the broader Middle East. So in that region, I think the consequences have been substantial and quite enduring, unfortunately.
Michael Hanlon, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you so much for your time and for your insight.